Thanks for checking out my micro drawings channel. Tonight I am drawing Scooby-Doo. I've got a quarter and a Copic multiliner 0.03 for scale. So usually I start with a facial feature of the characters. In this case, I'm starting with Scooby-Doo's far eyeball. So if you zoom in there, I don't know if you can double tap on that and check it out. That's what that little initial drawing is there. And then I work to his nose. And then I added his other eye, and then I'm working around his mouth, so his cheek or nose, and so on. And there you can start to see his mouth going in there. From that, I'm working down the bottom, his chin or his jowl. Scooby-Doo always has those couple whiskers, sort of Shaggy, come to think of it. So a couple whiskers on his chinny chin, and then I'm continuing to use those eyeballs and the nose for the base. That's what I'm working around. Again, using the Copic multiliner 0.03. The pen is awesome in my opinion because once you come back with the Copic sketch markers on it, it doesn't bleed or dissolve at all. It is there. So there, I worked around his head, got his ear in place, working on the other ear, getting that in place. Thanks again for checking this out. Please consider subscribing and sharing with other people that might be interested. I do a variety of different subjects. So if you sign up and subscribe, you'll get to get those updates and check out the upcoming drawings as soon as they come out. There, I'm getting his collar in place. Now that little tag on Scooby's collar is an SB, or no, SD, Scooby-Doo. But it's so small, I just couldn't get that S and D in there. So instead, I'm going to give the illusion that there's something more there. So there I'm working down Scooby's chest and his hind legs or his haunches, kind of folded up there, bent up there. There's his other foreleg, front leg going down. And I'm just kind of, checking the other leg that I already put in place and where the elbow is and so on. And the haunches there, or the back leg, knees. And there's a foot. And there's Scooby's tail going in place. And there I'm just adding spots. Not a lot of markings on Scooby. And then I'm putting the toes in there. And then I'm coming back and adding the toes and the feet to the other three legs. So getting pretty close to done. This time I planned ahead a little bit better than I normally do. And I chose the colors ahead of time. There's a quarter for reference. You can see the quarter covers up Scooby. So I had the colors chosen already. Ahead of time, here's the yellow, put a lighter color on first, and then if I bring any darker on top of it, seems to work best for me. That again is the Copic sketch marker using the fine tip point, and I rotate the paper around so that I can just push that fine tip right up to that black line. Actually leave it a little bit short so that the ink, when it bleeds in a little bit, it bleeds right to the line and hopefully doesn't go over. So I've got a sheet of paper off to the side that I test the colors out on. And on this guy, I actually did that ahead of time. And the brown actually obviously took the longest because it's the #1 color on Scooby. And there's all these little detail areas like that tail. I didn't want to bleed out onto the paper. On the ears there, I'm working around so I don't get the eyeballs, which are white, so that I don't fill those in with the bleeding, brown ink. The ears, there's pink inside the ears that I come back and add the pink to later. So I had to leave that. So it just kind of kept rotating around and working to the black lines as carefully as possible with this. There I'm getting up around the ears, leaving the space for that pink to be added. And the nice thing with these Copic sketch markers, like I said earlier, they don't make that black line bleed. And these Copic sketch markers can be blended together. They're alcohol-based, with the cartoon characters I draw, I usually don't end up blending much at all. In this case, I'm just going with the straight colors. Fortnite characters that I've drawn, those I ended up blending and giving more three-dimensional characteristics to it. In this case, it's pretty much just the cartoon, straight solid color there. So there again is the quarter for reference. Kind of get an idea how big that is. And then I grabbed the pink to put those little final touches into the ears. And there he is. Quarter for reference again. And then I just need to add the date. And there's Scooby. Thanks for watching.